Welcome to The Obscured Truth. In today's episode, we journey through the dark corridors of history, unraveling the details of some of the most shocking and notorious crime cases ever known. These events sent ripples across the world, shaking the foundations of societies, changing legal systems, and even sparking global conflict. Buckle up as we take you on a journey through the top 4 historical crime cases that shocked the world. Let's begin. The mystery of Jack the Ripper has haunted the streets of London for over a century. In the fall of 1888, a brutal killer prowled the impoverished neighborhood of Whitechapel, targeting vulnerable women, many of whom were sex workers. The Ripper's reign of terror lasted just a few months, but in that short span, he brutally murdered and mutilated at least 5 women. The level of violence was shocking. Bodies were discovered with throats slashed, organs removed with surgical precision. The police received numerous letters from someone claiming to be the Ripper, taunting the authorities and mocking their inability to catch him. One letter signed "From Hell," it was accompanied by half of a human kidney, allegedly taken from one of the victims. Despite intense public pressure, the police were never able to identify the killer. Numerous suspects emerged over the years, from local butchers to high society aristocrats, but none were conclusively proven to be Jack the Ripper. To this day, he remains one of the most infamous unidentified killers in history. On a cold March evening in 1932, tragedy struck the home of one of America's most famous families. Charles Lindbergh, the world-renowned aviator, had become a national hero after completing the first solo flight across the Atlantic. But fame could not shield him from personal tragedy. His 20-month-old son, Charles Lindbergh Jr., was kidnapped from his crib in the middle of the night. A ransom note was left behind, demanding $50,000. Despite the family's efforts to negotiate with the kidnappers, 2 months later, the body of the infant was found, not far from their home. The nation was in shock. How could something so horrific happen to such a beloved figure? After a lengthy investigation, Bruno Hauptmann, a German immigrant and carpenter, was arrested. The evidence against him included marked ransom money found in his possession, as well as handwriting analysis linking him to the ransom notes. The trial became a media sensation, often referred to as the trial of the century. Hauptmann was convicted and executed by electric chair, but many have questioned whether he acted alone, or if he was even guilty at all. The case led to the passage of the Lindbergh Law, making kidnapping a federal crime. Hollywood, the city of dreams. But in 1947, those dreams turned to nightmares when a young woman, aspiring actress Elizabeth Short, was found murdered in one of the most gruesome and bizarre crime scenes in American history. Dubbed the Black Dahlia by the press, Short's body was discovered severed in 2, mutilated beyond recognition, and posed in an empty lot. Elizabeth's murder was so brutal, even seasoned detectives were horrified. The killer had drained her body of blood, and the precise cuts led some to believe the perpetrator had medical training. The media latched onto the sensational story, and soon, everyone in America knew the name of the Black Dahlia. Despite hundreds of suspects and numerous false confessions, the murder of Elizabeth Short remains unsolved to this day. The case has spawned countless books, documentaries, and films, each offering theories, but none providing closure. Who killed the Black Dahlia? The answer, it seems, may never be known. In the late 1960s, Northern California was terrorized by a killer who enjoyed playing games with the media and law enforcement. Known only as the Zodiac Killer, he took credit for at least 5 confirmed murders, though he claimed to have killed many more. The Zodiac didn't just murder his victims. He taunted the police with a series of cryptic letters, phone calls, and ciphers sent to newspapers. These ciphers contained strange symbols and codes that the Zodiac claimed would reveal his identity. Decades later, most of these ciphers remain unsolved. His victims were chosen seemingly at random, ranging from young couples parked in secluded areas to a taxi driver in San Francisco. His brutal and cold-blooded methods left entire communities paralyzed with fear. In one letter, he claimed to be collecting souls for the afterlife, adding a chilling dimension to his already terrifying persona. From mysterious serial killers to infamous trials and assassinations that shaped world history, these cases remind us of the power that one act of crime can wield. Some mysteries remain unsolved, and some questions still linger. But one thing is clear: the impact of these events will never be forgotten. What do you think about these unsolved mysteries? Let us know your theories in the comments below. Which case do you think deserves more attention? Comment your thoughts and we might dive into it in our next video. Subscribe and join our community of true crime enthusiasts. Let's explore the unknown together.